Hello, guys. It has been a while since I last talked to you, and that is because I have been busy. I'm excited to update you guys on the happenings. So, this will be my last vlog in Bali. It has been an incredible journey. To fill you in, since we last spoke, Ahmed was incredible. I was able to scuba dive, hang out with my now friend Sama. He brought me into his temple and we partied with his family. The scuba diving was incredible. We made it down to 55 foot or something like that, which Sama said was pretty good for a beginner. Go out, went to a chicken fight. That was cool. Next day, I drove from Ahmed to Siedemann. It was actually a beautiful drive, and the weather was cooler. The breeze was nice, and the scenes were just immaculate. I eventually made it to Siedemann, where I made this rock, which I'm sure you guys have already saw it, 15 grams silver, made it from nothing. That was a lot of fun. After that, I had dinner and watched the sun go down. The problem with that was I had still not found a place to stay, which normally would be okay, but I should have learned my lesson because trying to find a place to stay when you don't book online and you just show up on the doorstep is a little more difficult. Eventually found a place. Google Maps took me on the back roads, wrecked my motorcycle, made it to the beautiful place that was overlooking the rice terraces. Day 9, I was pretty tired at this point. I soaked up every bit of that checkout time. No one's ever in a rush here, so I drove from Siedemann. I wanted to check out Mount Agung, which is a 10,000 foot volcano. It is the tallest on Bali. And the stairs to get up this thing were just straight up. It was ridiculous. So I'm huffing and puffing, making my way up there, and there's a monk actually taking a cigarette. I sit there and talk to him for a little bit, and then we walk back up, and he throws a 24-liter box of water bottles on his head, carrying a propane tank. Just cruises up. People here are built different, man. But it's awesome to see. Took my nap. I got some drone shots, and then headed down the mountain. I was able to head down the mountain a lot faster than I went up. I was just kind of chug, 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 chug. Down, zoom, ripped. The only fun part of that drive that day, I had a 3-hour haul from Mount Agung to Uluwatu, and it was my longest by far. And I just wanted to rip the Band-Aid off. I made it to Uluwatu, and by then, like, I had a kink in my back. My shoulders were on fire because I have a 15-kilogram bag or 30 pounds that I'm just lugging around on a motorcycle. I was able to kind of alleviate some of the straps, so the bag was still sitting on the seat, but on my traps, they were holding it stable, and that was extremely taxing, especially on the curvy roads. Picked a hotel with good ratings. If a cigarette burn could be a hotel, that was it. It was bad. So, Ulani, if you're watching this, you're trash. But they did have an excellent spa, and they got me right. That next day, I grabbed my laundry that I turned in, and then didn't realize until it was too late that they did not give me my laundry bag back. And I was like, that's okay. There's a lot of travelers. I'm sure I could find one. That was a 2-hour side quest. So we actually found a really nice one. Little small, but that's all right. I turned in my motorcycle, got my 2 million ruby deposit back, which was nice because I was out of cash at this point. Then I ventured over to Nusa Penida, stayed kind of close to the port. When I checked into that, I realized my enjoyment for the day relied very heavily on where I stayed and how much money I spent. And when you take that into consideration, the money is no longer a question. I got Penida Colada, which is a restaurant on the beach. Beautiful view, fun live band. I actually got up there and sung again, which is my second time singing Riptide. Day 12 was a blast. I drove from the harbor side of Nusa Penida over to the east side and stayed on a cliff overlooking the Bali Sea. It was beautiful, but I had a very packed agenda. I had not seen anything on Nusa Penida, and I was heading to Gili Tea the next day. I checked out Manta Point. Beautiful. After that, I went to Guyang Waterfall, which was pretty lame, but I did get to wear like one of the ceremonial robes, which was kind of fire. So I actually got about halfway down, got my picture, and then said, "Actually, you know what? I don't care that much. I want to see clinking." It was stunning. It was beautiful. I just found myself saying, "God is great," and watched the sunset. And then unfortunately, that also made it so I had to drive home in the pitch black again. So is what it is. I did make it home, and I actually made it home in a perfect time to see the local volleyball game going on, where there's just kind of a pickup volleyball game. I drove past it and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I turned around. I was like, I actually want to like go join them. So I had everything in my bag that I needed. I took off my pants, put on my swim trunks, put on my slips, and then we balled out. It was a lot of fun. None of them really spoke English, so we just spoke ball. That next morning, took it kind of slow. Got the last ferry from Nusa Penida to Gili, which is where I'm at currently. Party Island, I guess. When I arrived, I quickly realized why they called it that. It it was just a big strip of bars. There is no cars on this island. The quickest thing you can get is an electric scooter, so that is exactly what I got. I actually found the Mad Monkey Hostel, so I headed there. Uh, Started by double fisting some bentangs, large bentangs, and then the party just went on from there. We did a family Mexican dinner, which the food there was very good, very good. So props to them. And then after that, we did music trivia, followed by dancing at some club, and then 2 a.m. hit, and I was like, "What am I doing with my life? What happened to midnight?" I took my happy butt back home after I found my scooter, which took about 20 minutes. I also domed a kebab. I met a lot of cool people at Mad Monkey. It was nice going out to the club with friends. So that leads us to today. Today we had a very chill day. I picked up my ferry ticket for tomorrow at 9 a.m. I said no more hostel. I booked this place, which was the most expensive place I stayed my whole time in Bali. I just kind of been hanging out all day. I've actually picked up this shirt. So it's a brand here in Bali called Lost, and Lost in Bali is what the back says. Picked up these shorts as well. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. ferry. I'm going to taxi to the a gym or a spa near the airport. Maybe do both, depending on how much time I have. Right now, it's looking like I got 8 hours to South Korea, 13 hours to Michigan, hour and 14 minutes to Cincinnati, then a 2 hour drive home, and then I will be holding my Willie. I'm ready to be home. I'm not ready for the travel it takes to get home. I'm not going to get too far into the review of the trip. I'm going to make a separate video for that when I'm back in colder weather and not sweating my butt off at 6 o'clock at night. But I think that is going to do it for tonight. I've got a sunset to watch and dinner to grab, so I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.